Well, what's going on, Gideonstactical family? Thanks so much for joining me here on another blade video. This is a very special blade video because not only are we going to be taking a look at a slip joint pocket knife made over in the Czech Republic, but
I'm crashing the party and going to be giving a female perspective as well.
And so what knife exactly are we taking a look at today?
It's the ANV Knives Z050.
Nice. And so the reason that I wanted to take a look at this pocket knife is kind of twofold, and I'm glad you're crashing the party today. Because not only did I want to do a slip joint design for those of you over in Europe, particularly in our European audience, because I know we got lots of viewers here in America, but we have a lot of people who watch us worldwide, and sometimes legally you just can't have a locking mechanism. So I wanted to take a look at a high quality, European made in the Czech Republic, designed and built blade, but also I wanted to look at it from a perspective here for you, because the pocket knife collection that I've had over these last 8, almost 9 years, I've always had you take a look at, play with a lot and stuff, and the majority of them are either too difficult for you to kind of manipulate or just too intimidating, they're too big, you know, whatever. And so I felt like this might be a really good option to add to your EDC collection, because right now in your collection, it's basically the Rat Model 2 is like the only pocket knife you carry, right?
Right.
Yeah, and so, I mean, it's a very functional blade, but it's not elegant by any means, and this has a lot more of a premium kind of feel to it. So we're going to take a look at it today, not only from my perspective as a knife user all the time and lover, but also from your perspective
as someone who wants a knife that looks good and is easy to manipulate.
So let's go ahead and jump right in, take a look
at the Z050.
Let's talk about the business end here. I want Ashley to kind of share with you a little bit just about how her feeling was on just, you know, how it performed for her. Then I'll give you all the technical details here in just a second. So thoughts on this blade?
I really like that it's not intimidating. It doesn't look like a big dagger. If you're with your girlfriends and pull it out, they're not going to be afraid of it. With the drop point design, it looks nice and it cuts well and it gets the job done.
Yeah, and so that's what I really connected with as well, regardless if you're a dude or dudette, you know, using this knife. It's just very functional without it being overly intimidating in that regard. What you're going to be getting is an amazing edge geometry. I was really happy with that. The thickness is like 0.1, so it's going to be a pretty thin but still stout because of the saber grind that they put on this here blade, and the edge geometry was fantastic for everything that I was doing for just your daily tasks. And that's what you want in a pocket knife like this, is it better be able to do your everyday carry EDC type of task, cutting off cordage from, you know, something off of your clothing, you're opening a package that just arrived, you know, for your kids. Doing those type of things is basically what you're going to be doing. Maybe a little bit of food prep, you know, opening a banana for your child or yourself, or, you know, something like that is what this is really designed to do. Now, the nice thing is, as I've told you before, this knife is made in the Czech Republic, and this is made with Böhler N690 steel. Great steel for the design, for what we're looking for, stainless steel. The edge retention is really good for this type of stainless steel. It's in the family of like VG10 and 154 CM and those type of steels, but it's going to sharpen up pretty easy as well. And I've had it now, not only just the Böhler N690 from multiple companies, but also I've had a few with this brand ANV knives, and it's performing very well for that stainless steel. It's going to give you better edge retention than like AUS 8, but it's not like M390 that's going to cost you a lot more and be a lot harder to resharpen. All right, so next up, I want to touch on this pocket clip. It really caught my eye, and I want to know how your experience was with this pocket clip.
Well, just like you, Aaron, I like the wire pocket clip. It's very narrow, and since it's black, it's discreet, so it doesn't stand out a lot. It's very low riding, which is great, and it's ambidextrous, so for you lefties, that's really nice. I also like how no matter what kind of pants I'm wearing, it fits well in your pocket or your waistband, so it works good with yoga pants or jeans or Workout like joggers, and that's really good.
And I really feel like on top of all those things, I mean, again, just let me look at how insane that loop is. So, I mean, that's going to ride super deep in your pocket. But the other nice thing is that it's not going to cause any issues in the ergonomics that I felt, and I'm assuming you felt the same, and it really just kind of supports your finger. And even if your hand seems to be right on the edge, it kind of, because it goes above, flares out and kind of controls your hand in that way. So I really enjoyed it, not only on the ergonomic side, but then just on the loop over deep ride carry side worked really well. All right, so we're going to jump right into it with kind of the slip joint and deployment aspect of it, and I'll go through all kind of the technical stuff, and then I want Ashley to kind of share with you her actual like experience using this knife. And so, not that I haven't, but you know, I want to hear from her, and I'm sure you do too. I talk to you guys about blades all the time. So what we're looking at here is for deployment, obviously no thumb studs. We have this little nail nick. It's a deep one, so that makes it actually pretty easy to grab compared to some on the market. It's obviously only on one side. Most nail nicks are that way. I would love to have seen the grooves cut in both sides. I think that would have been really cool. It does have this little glow in the dark, if I can show it to you guys here, bead right there in the middle. That's just kind of a cool accent that ANV knives does a lot. And so what it does is makes it easy for me to grab. There we go. And then I can just flick that thing open like that, use and deploy the knife as needed. Now it has a double detent and it has a stop bar to keep it from over traveling too far open. So I really like that. And the double detent is really nice because there's not like a spring in it to kind of fight resistance like what you would see on like a Swiss Army knife or something. So what that means is there's definitely some rigidness that I have to overcome and push, and when I pop over that detent, then I can manually, with much control, be able to close that. So a lot of times I'd even just kind of get it started, and you do have to do it two-handed. I couldn't manipulate it one-handed, so I would sometimes get it going and then just use my thumb on the back spine there and just kind of press and get that thing open, and then when it's time to close, boom, just overcome that detent, close that thing, and we're good to go. It's not going to come out. So that's my experience for a slip joint. I really like it, and I actually kind of like it more than, say, like what you would get on a Swiss Army knife. But for you, talk to us a little bit as a woman, someone who I hand my knives to, and I know that you kind of struggle sometimes with some of the designs. Just talk to us about this as an idea for you.
I really like this. Aaron's probably told you, but on almost all of his other knives, I have the hardest time opening it. I think it's because my fingers obviously are smaller than Aaron's. And also maybe they're not as strong, so I have a hard time flicking it open.
Like hitting the thumb stud, deploying
Right.
it, even with a finger flipper, you're like, "Flah!" And sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to step back a little bit.
I'm going to like drop it or make it fly out of my hand, and that's not good. So I feel like I have more control with this. I like the two-handed motion of just doing it like this. It's easy if I just want to get it open, get something done with my everyday, like taking a tag off of something or opening a
Sure,
box.
I mean, that's why you're carrying that, is basically just to open the kids' packaging, you know, take a little string off your clothing, you know, something like that, and then closing it. What about closing it? Because that's also something a lot of times you're like, and you're kind of like fighting with a liner lock or a lock back. I give her a cold steel, you know, and she's like, nope, I don't even have the finger strength to overcome that, you know, triad lock. So for you, how does that happen?
So I feel comfortable with it. I just I get over that detent and then use my other hand, and I like that. It's easy and quick, and either way, I'm going to be using two hands, even with a different knife, so I know what's going to happen.
And the lack of lock isn't something that concerns you. You're not like, oh, I'm afraid I'm going to like snap my fingers off or something. It has a strong enough detent that you're not worried about it unless you're doing some really stupid, like weird angled thing.
Right.
Yeah. Cool. Actually had to bounce off frame here for just a second, check on the kids and stuff, so I'll just take a brief moment to talk about pricing with you guys. I'm going to annotate it in because not only for you US viewers, you can pick this up over at Blade HQ. You can go check them out, all different shapes, sizes, as well as other models that ANV Knives carries, because this is a Czech Republic made knife, and that's really where they started over in Europe. And for our European viewers, I will have a link over to their homepage. You can go check that out. The pricing, because of, you know, euro and the Czech currency and US and all that. I'm just going to be annotating all of that stuff down there. You're getting all the materials and designing that we're looking at today, and a European made blade. I think you're going to get a lot for the money. What you're going to lay down, you're getting a lot in the sense of design, materials and quality, and fit and finish, and then in performance from everything we're seeing so far. So really digging it. Check out those links below so you can see, regardless if you're in Europe or you're here in the United States, Blade HQ for US, and then their website if you're over in Europe, and go check them out. Not only this design, but all the tools, both fixed blades and pocket knives, ANV knives, has going on. And I just appreciate them sending this over to us so that not only Ashley could test out and use this blade and myself, and that we could give some content to you, the European user and viewers especially, and those of you who are just into slip joints.
Okay, let's take a look at this handle. I really love how sleek it is. As you can see, it kind of has like a tapered look to it, kind of like almost a coffin, but it's very artistic and I think elegant looking. It doesn't look tactical at all, like it just fell off of a semi-truck or something. I like that about it. The finish is smooth, so it feels really good in my hand. It doesn't feel grippy, but also I don't feel like I'm gonna like lose it. And it just feels really comfortable, and I like the it's light. It's made out of aluminum, so it's light, and it's 4 inches long, and it's just really good for me.
On my end, being somebody with, because you wear like women's small, right?
Right.
Size gloves. I wear men's large. Shocker if you've been watching the channel. And you can see here, I can just barely get all of my fingers on there, but I never felt like I was having to do like a 3-fingered knife. This is not like a 3-fingered handle. It's definitely a full handle. And like you were saying, it's just elegant. I mean, it's just hot. It is a hot looking blade, and it's just perfectly symmetrical in the way it was designed. And ANV Knives does that a lot with their designs. The artistic side as well as the function side really mesh well together. And like you were saying, it's lightweight, 4 inches, and it actually, like with the handle pocket clip, excuse me, it almost gives you like 4 1/4, so it gives you a little extra to rest on there. And then you can manipulate it, control it any which way that you wish. And I believe right now they have like red, I think black, and they might have white, where it's like a metallic handle color combinations. Really machined well on that aluminum. I really like that aspect. And you can see that there's some liners in there as well. I believe those are stainless steel liners in there, but still keeping it very lightweight. And because of its slim design, particularly for you women, you have like smaller pockets a lot of times than us dudes. And did you ever have a problem with it being like too big to fit in your pocket?
Nope.
Okay, great. So for those of you that maybe have either just shallow pockets, or if it's maybe your son, daughter, something like that, and they don't have full-size pockets yet, this isn't going to be like sticking out and causing a problem in that way. So for me, handle ergonomics, even with larger size hands, it was fun to manipulate and use and just fit well. And then for you with the smaller hands, still worked really well, which is nice because it's hard to kind of find that. Either it's like, if it's me, it's kind of a monster for you,
Right.
or vice versa.
Right.
So you may be wondering why I'm the one handling the knife all the time, and like Vanna White. Ashley's still learning how to be on camera regularly with me, and cannot seem to keep it in frame and talk at the same time. So I'll be Vanna White for you guys today as we wrap this up. So babe, how do you feel about this knife from like a female perspective, from someone who's not like a knife nut? Maybe someone who is giving it to their adolescent child, something like that. How do you feel about this blade just overall?
I feel like I really like it. I would recommend it. I think it's a good starter knife if you're just getting acquainted with how to use them and carrying them every day. I think it's safe. It feels safe and comfortable in my hands. It's easy to use, and I would recommend it.
And so, because like outside of the Rat Model 2, which is the smaller one, I've tried to get her on like knives, and very rarely will you land on a knife that you're like, I actually can manipulate this and it's not terrifying, or just not going to carry it because it's too big and bulky. So this is like one of the very few knives you told me that you would actually like EDC regularly. Is that correct?
Right.
Cool. So now for me, on being like a dude, right? Big 6'2", extra large, or not extra, that what? Large size hand guy. if you're just looking for a gentleman carry, you just either legally need a slip joint, or you're just kind of into that old school style. You like the elegance and the sleekness of it. It fully functions for me as that gentleman folder you're going to take to the office, go to a meeting, go out to dinner with your spouse or girlfriend, whatever it may be, and you're going to be able to have full control over it, do what needs to be done. It looks just so good. It'll be great to use, and then it fits in your pocket and you're not even gonna know it's there, and you can bust that sucker out, and know that you have a reliable tool that has a higher level of fit and finish, quality, materials than what you're going to be getting on a lot of other like Swiss Army knives, or like an Opinel or something like that, maybe, that you can carry, but it's just not quite to the level of fit and finish and quality that you're getting with the ANV knives, not only in their materials but design as well. So guys, thanks so much for coming over today and checking out the channel. Would love to hear your guys' thoughts on this particular design. Do you want to see more slip joints in general, particularly those of you in our overseas market, but those of you here in the US too that maybe just connect with that old school style? Love to hear all that, and look forward to reading those comments below. Check us out on Instagram and Facebook, all the social media, the video popping up. You can check that out as well. And always remember to stay equipped,
Stay prepared.
and we'll see you out there.